Welcome to Syncopated Drumming Basics. I am Cobb the Drummer. This is the intro video about hand technique, execution of the notes, just a basic form 101. So let's start off by mentioning what syncopated drumming is. It's a style that originated from Long Beach, California, dates all the way back to the mid-50s, all the way to the mid-80s. Greg Odell, a great friend and mentor of mine, and the leader of the last regiment of syncopated drummers, started his own syncopated drum corps in 1998, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And so here we go. Let's start by talking about how syncopated drummers hold their sticks. Most people do it like this, with the little acorn on the top. We do it backwards, where we got the butt ends sticking out. And we use traditional grip if you're on the snare line. And here's our rest position. And just a side note, there is no wrong or right definition of what good technique is. For me personally, good technique is getting the result that you desire without injuring or hurting yourself. So we start with holding the stick in the right hand, and we start with the fulcrum. Your fulcrum point is somewhere between your thumb and your finger. And what you want to do is you don't want to change the pressure of your fulcrum. You want to keep it about the same where it feels comfortable. The reason for that is at any point, if you change the pressure in your fulcrum, the stick's going to move around, it's going to slide up, it's going to slide down, and eventually it might fall out of your hand. So we got our fulcrum nice and steady. I like to keep it just above where the stick tries to taper off, maybe about 2 inches above that point. Some people like it back here, some people there, but it's all about finding the sweet spot in the rebound, whatever feels like you get the most rebound. Obviously, when you get way up here, you're not going to get a lot of rebound back here. So for me, my best rebound is going to come around here. And then your fingers are going to aid you in speed, so keep them nice and loose, not tight. You don't want to like clench the stick, but nice and loose because they're going to aid you in speed. Some people have their pinky out. You're going to get a hard time. That's not good technique, and the reason for that is because your pinky is going to assist you when you're going for speed. That was just my fingers. I'm not warmed up, so I can usually do that a little bit faster than that, but yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so also that's just what you're doing in your hand, and now you want to be also using your wrist. Your wrist is going to be the ultimate of your control in both the right and left hands. It's just like I don't know what you call this, but it's this. And we'll get into the elbows and the arms in other videos, but that's kind of how you want to swing your stick. So the swing comes from here. The speed assisters are your fingers. And then the fulcrum is going to be your control, I guess. You don't want the stick to drop out of your hand. All right, the left hand, the traditional grip. This is where most people have a hard time. So if I'm right here, then my fulcrum in my left hand is going to be around the same spot. And yeah, so there's a couple different ways you can figure out how to hold the stick. One tip I got from a Gene Krupa method book is to hold the baseball in your left hand like you're going to throw a pitch. Remove the baseball, and then take your stick and place it just like that. And then you can kind of jet your thumb out a little bit. And then for me, my fulcrum is created by my thumb going like this and my finger going like this. Like I said, no right or wrong. Way to do it technique is just whatever gets you the result that you're after. So we'll talk about the different components. We'll start with the radius ulna. That's going to be your turning motion. What you can do is you can take a penny or a piece of change, place it in your finger, or just be conscious of keeping your hand perfectly still and just practice getting that turning motion in your arm, because it's going to be different than here. And you can do that for days on end just to isolate this muscle, get what that feels like, make that part of your system. Alright, next it will be the thumb. You can kind of get an idea of what that is like. I'm going to move my fulcrum just a little bit, just to get a little more comfortable grip. And so you start here, and then you can adjust the thumb, keeping the hand still. This is probably the main component that you're going to use. And literally you can just practice doing that, getting your thumb strength going. And then lastly, your index finger also going to be an assister in the speed with your left hand. And you can just literally practicing, you can do it this way. You can do it this way. Me personally, I like doing it this way because it feels more practical. Eventually you want to move it to here, but some people have a hard time doing that. Some people are going to put their fingers above the stick and then gradually move it to there. But mainly I use the index finger. Middle finger, sometimes it gets in the way for me, so that's what I like to do personally. Everybody's got their own way of doing things, so like I said, no right or wrong way to do it. That's kind of the basics of holding your sticks, getting the muscles activated. Now that you know what you're supposed to be using in your hands, let's talk about basic stroke execution. This is a free stroke. You notice I'm just kind of throwing the stick on the mat or the pad like it's a basketball, and it comes right up. A little harder to achieve with the left hand. I'm seeing myself in the mirror, and got to make sure you keep your posture straight, or else you're going to hurt your back. There we go, even. There we go. Now I can see it. So this is how it should look. Nice and even. Nice even rebounds, okay? But that's not how you want to execute your strokes when you're performing. You want to keep your sticks as low as possible once you get the rebound down. Once you're like, okay, now I got rebound going. And you know, you can just sit there practicing basic strokes, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. However you want to do it, just make sure that your sticks come up at the same height. That's the most important thing. And yeah, that's basically it. Once you get the free stroke down and you feel like you're playing your hands in the right spot, here we go. Make sure I need to practice in front of the mirror more. And then, yeah. Once it's all about soft hands. You don't want to grip too tight. If your hands are soft, then you're not taking any damage when when you go. Just a basic technique, holding the sticks and the execution of your rebounds. And all right, on to the next video.